Beloved of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, beloved of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, this is a very urgent message called a firm stance against the false prophets. A firm stance against the false prophets. Now, here recently, I got reaccepted back into Oakwood University for the spring of 2019. After being put out of the traditional theology program since 2015. And beloved in the Adventist Church, the Holy Spirit convicted me. I do not need to go back to Oakwood and take theology classes right now because they have a spirit of oppressive manipulation and control, and they control the students to teach false doctrine and get down for the Omega Apostasy, beloved. Selected Message Book 1 page, Foundation of Our Faith, page 202 204 states that that a new movement will consist of giving up the doctrines of our faith. Books of New Order will be introduced. A system of intellectual philosophy will be established. And the fathers will go on to this in the cities and create and do a new movement saying that they're saying that we need to give up the faith that makes us unique as Seventh-day Adventist Christians. And the Sabbath to be lightly regarded and virtue be treated better than vice, but God will sweep away the structure. So, beloved in the Adventist Church, that's the system in many of our Seventh-day Adventist schools today. It's an apostate Seventh-day Adventist system, especially in North America, beloved. And the fixing and the occult, one of the leaders at Oakwood told me he cannot promise me the Oakwood would not allow me to take fiction and the occult. Then he told me that then another professor, another leader at Oakwood told me not to bring up women's ordination. Don't bring up women's ordination because the North American division is in favor of women's ordination. And I recapitulated and told her, you know what? I'm not going to bring any controversial topics to you. And I humble myself. But beloved in the Adventist Church, I'm not going to go back to Oakwood because I'm not going to let them control my conscience. The prophet from Judah in 1 Kings 13 says, if you give me half of your house, I will not go in with you or eat bread with you or drink water in this place. But he gave his warning to the people. He gave his warning to them. If the prophet from Judah would have went in and drunk and ate with that false prophet, the lying prophet, he would have been lost, beloved in the Adventist Church. We must learn the lessons of the past. Lessons are from the past. Teach us not to repeat the failures of the past, beloved. We learn from these lessons. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 says that these lessons, here it is, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, said these things are written for our admonition upon whom the ends of the world are come. So the story in 1 Kings 13 about the true prophet from Judah who rebuked the false prophets, he's a lesson, a typology for us not to be deceived in these last days, so that we will be not receive the mark of the beast and be lost in these last days. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 says, now all these things happen to them that were ensamples, and they are written for our admonition upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. So we can fall if we think we stand, if we think we're secure from being tempted to fall in temptation, whether it's on diet, whether it's on dress, whether it's on music, whether it's on education, whatever it is, if we think we stand, we can fall, beloved in the Adventist Church. We have a professor at Oakwood now who has been there for many years, a so-called female pastor commissioned in South Central. She's a ranking member of the theology department now. The former theology dean over there who gave my degree this past May, he just took off, went to Virginia. He was asking me questions about whether I agree with Ted Wilson dismembering the North American division because they support women's ordination, whether I agree with them for disfellowshipping them and firing them. I said, of course I agree with Ted Wilson on that. And he took off and immediately went to Virginia to be a pastor. And then another pastor who recently was there, famous pastor who passed out of Atlanta, and one of the Knight brothers' family. He just left recently, went over to an independent church that's a liberal church in another state, local near Huntsville. So these false ministers are now betraying the truth and leaving the system and now getting followers after them into their apostasy. They're supporting women's ordination, jury, drums in church, new theology, ecumenicalism, all these apostasies, beloved. Downplaying of the King James Version Bible, saying we need the NIV Version Bible. Saying that Women can be pastors because the Greek says in the corrupted manuscript, the Douay manuscript, or the Vaticanus manuscript, rather than the Textus Receptus manuscript or the received text, the one the King James Version comes from their corrupted manuscript, they say that the bishop, that comes to the bishop's Bible, and the King James Version Bible is a bishop's Bible, and that they're saying that the Geneva Bible is more accurate because it comes from a different system that takes away ecclesiastical authority from the pastoral ministry. So, beloved in the Adventist Church, all these apostles are coming into the Adventist Church today through the leadership, through the membership is being deceived by them. And Ezekiel chapter 89 says that there's going to be a slaughter against a false minister in this last days, beloved in the Adventist Church. The hands of one's crowned with laurels will be raised to destruction, beloved in the Adventist Church. It's so sad. Great controversy says about that. Chapter called Death Sentence to the Earth. And the hands of one's crowned with laurels will be raised to destruction, beloved in the Adventist Church. It is so sad. Why is it raised to destruction? It's raised to destruction because they're into the apostasy, beloved. My conscience is not bound by church manuals, beloved. The church manual states women can be ordained as elders. The church manual states women can be commissioned as pastors in certain divisions, but under conference presidents that agree with it, beloved in the Adventist Church. But that's not biblical. The Bible says, I suffer not a woman to teach nor to usurp authority over man, but to be in silence. Remember what happened to that king in the Old Testament, Jehoshaphat, when he went to fight with that wicked king Ahab? And when he went to fight with that wicked king Ahab, he said, you shall have wars now. Jehu reproved him, so you shall have wars now. Why did Jehu reprove him? Because he went to fight with the wicked king against an evil nation, beloved. And God was not with Ahab. God is not with the apostate northern tribes of Israel or the apostate Seventh-day Adventist North American leadership. He's with Judah and Benjamin. He's with the present Jew followers and self-supporting workers that believe truth in his last days and not willing to give themselves to apostate in his last days. That's who he's with. And that's why he says, do not go and help these men. Do not go and fight with these men. Now on, you're going to have wars. We do not need to have wars and bring upon ourselves persecution by fighting with the apostate leaders of the Adventist Church, by going with them in their way, because they're not right. They're Masons. They're in secret societies. They're into worldly music. They're into dance and into drums, beloved. So the two examples, the prophet from Judah who went to reprove Jeroboam for his calf, the Jehoshaphat not fighting and going to fight with Ahab, and also Amaziah for trying to hire in 2 Chronicles 25, trying to hire those men to fight with him, the northern tribes of Israel, the children of Ephraim, to fight with him in a war against the heathen nation. And that's why the prophet Shemaiah reproved them and said, do not go with them. And he took all the money, and they got mad that he did not go with them. But that's what we need to do. We need to not link ourselves with people that are worshiping golden calves, beloved, because we'll be lost in these ashes, beloved. So I'm not going to link myself with them. I try to please family. That's why I went back to Oakland, to please family. I'm not going to please family. And even if a conference president tries to hire me, but he wants me to go down with the apostasy, I'm not going to go down with the apostasy, beloved. I'm not going to work for the system. I'll do self-supporting work if I can't find a conference that's going to work with me in the present truth. God bless you. Maranatha.